Good afternoon. The Secretary General will start with opening remarks about the sessions this morning, and then he will be happy to take your questions. Secretary General.
Good afternoon. We have just finished a productive meeting of the NATO foreign ministers. We began with a wide-ranging discussion about Russia and the long-term security implications of its foreign and defense policies. We agreed that our dual-track policy of strong deterrence and defense combined with meaningful dialogue is the right one. For 70 years, NATO has protected allies, but at the same time, we see more attempts to intimidate and destabilize, including cyber attacks, efforts to undermine our democratic institutions, disinformation and propaganda, and even the use of chemical weapons in Salisbury. So we must continue to show solidarity and resolve. We need to further strengthen our resilience, and we need to develop stronger tools to deal with these hybrid threats. At the same time, NATO remains committed to dialogue with Russia. Our Supreme Commander for Europe, General Scaparotti, met with the Russian Chief of Defense, General Gerasimov, last week to discuss military posture and exercises and increase predictability and transparency. And we continue to work toward the next meeting of the NATO-Russia Council. When tensions are high, our dialogue is more important than ever. Today, NATO ministers also addressed developments across the Middle East and North Africa. We discussed the situation in Syria. All allies strongly condemn the repeated use of chemical weapons by the Assad regime. And we support the efforts led by the United Nations to achieve a lasting political solution to the conflict in Syria. We also made progress in our preparations to launch a new training mission in Iraq at the summit in July, to help Iraqi forces fight terrorism, stabilize their country, and prevent the re-emergence of ISIS. Today, we agreed on the concept of operations for our mission. This will include several hundred personnel. They will train Iraqi instructors and develop Iraqi military schools, so that our expertise can reach thousands of others. We also discussed a new capacity-building package for Tunisia and the implementation of a new package of support for Jordan. We already support them with training in areas such as special forces, intelligence, and countering improvised explosive devices. We are now looking into working with them in new areas: border security, demining, and security sector reform. Our aim is to help manage crisis in the region, to build the resilience of our partners so we can help prevent crisis from occurring, and to increase our own deterrence and defense when dealing with challenges from our southern neighborhood. This afternoon, we will address Afghanistan, our biggest training mission, an important part of NATO's contribution to fighting terrorism and projecting stability. Today also marks a historic meeting on the Korean Peninsula. NATO fully supports a political solution to the tensions in the region. And I saw for myself how deep those tensions are when I recently visited South Korea and the demilitarized zone. So I welcome the meeting today between the two leaders, the progress they have made and the commitment they have shown to resolving their differences peacefully. And with that, I'm ready to take your questions.
Okay, we'll